Now, nothing's been touched, including this ledger. You see these entries, Miss Mayberry?
They've been whited out.
What were they?
I'm not sure.
You are the accountant for this restaurant, aren't you?
Lieutenant Rupp, Donna gave this ledger to Doug Brooke, Alice's brother. Maybe he knows what those entries were.
I just brought it up to date yesterday.
Good, good. So it shouldn't be too hard for you to figure out exactly what was erased. The department appreciates your cooperation.
You mean now? But what about... We have to get upstate.
I would like the weekend off, too, ma'am.
You mean we might have to stay here the whole weekend?
Lieutenant, it's just that we're supposed to attend an engagement party.
You kids are getting married? Oh, that's great. That's just great. See, too many of the young people today are just shacking up. It's nice to find somebody who has the right values. Excuse me.
Grady, what are we going to do? I can't tell my father I'm involved in a murder investigation. He disowned me.
Well, maybe Lieutenant Rupp, if he really understands the situation, I'll have a word with him.
Time and method's gonna be tough.
Even after the body defrosts?
Yep. Take your choice. He got himself conked on a noggin. He was knifed with a jagged-edged blade, except the wounds are too shallow.
More like he was slashed and stabbed, huh?
Cause of death could be any of above or combination of any of above.
Excuse me, Lieutenant Rupp. There seems to be something here on the floor. Lieutenant, I don't want to be a nuisance, but my nephew's future in-laws are leaving the country, and since this is our only chance to meet them, would it be possible for Donna to examine the books after the weekend?
Sorry, Mrs. Fletcher, but I have to proceed while the trail is hot.
Well, then, Lieutenant, could she take the books with her and just report back to you?
Lieutenant, the Brooks are here.
Excuse me.
No, everything's fine. Fine. Except we're just going to be a teensy bit late. Mother, it's just some work stuff. Now, you know how Daddy always says work comes first.
Yeah, I'll say.
Grady, I thought you had never met Donna's father.
Well, I haven't. It's just that I know he drives Donna pretty hard.
This look familiar, sir?
Sure, it's a register tape. Did you get it off of Chaz?
No.
How'd you know that?
Something to do
Well, whoever closes up takes that little thing out of the register and enters the night's total into the ledger. Last night it was Chaz.
Yes, I
Well, I sure am glad you had me check, Lieutenant.
Yes, Mother will be coming.
Seems that 6 cases of lobster took a hike from my freezer.
6 boxes? Well, that must cost us $1,500.
Bye-bye, Mother.
Sounds like the victim surprised the thief.
Jessica, I guess Grady told you.
Yes. May I come in?
Of course. I was just packing to go to my parents. Please, Jessica, don't make this any harder. I love Grady, but I've thought it out and we're just not right for each other.
Donna, that isn't the real reason you've broken off the engagement, is it?
Why else would I?
How did you know that caviar was stolen from the restaurant last night?
Well, Alice said that it was missing this morning.
All Alice noticed was the lobster. I only knew about the caviar because Valentino Reggiori told me.
But how else can I get lobster and caviar at reasonable prices?
But the only way that I can think that you would have known about that caviar was if you'd been in the kitchen last night and seen Chaz take it.
Jessica, I've just been so scared.
Of course you have. And here was I thinking that you were all nervous because you were getting married. In the cab, you tried to tell me that you were in trouble. But I didn't hear you.
It was an accident. I was defending myself, but I couldn't go to the police. Why would they believe me? And And I couldn't involve Grady. That's the last thing I'd want.
Donna, people who love each other want to help each other. And as far as the police believing you, well, I haven't known you much longer than Lieutenant Rupp, and I believe you.
I guess I do have to talk to him, don't I?
Believe it or not, it may not be as bad an experience as when you confess to your father. But why don't you tell me first? I imagine you first suspected something was wrong when the waiter told us that they were out of caviar.
I had just paid for a delivery yesterday morning. I was afraid that I had made a mistake, so I made the excuse of going to the ladies' room.
But you really went to ask Chaz about it.
No. You got it all screwed up. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
But I'm leaving town first thing in the morning.
And he told you to come back later?
He said he wouldn't cover for my mistakes. That's why I didn't tell you or Grady that I was going back to the restaurant. I guess I was kind of ashamed. I just assumed that I had screwed up. When I came back, he didn't even try to hide anything from me. There it was, lobster, caviar, and the ledger. He had already whited out those entries. I couldn't understand why he just left all that stuff out when he knew that I was coming back. Then I realized
He wanted you to see. And I suppose he offered to cut you in.
he told me to grow up. He said that I could make a lot of money.
Well, having an accountant on his side would have made things much easier for him.
Of course I said no. He was furious. He hit me. The only way I could get him to let go of me was to hit him back. I tried to run away, but I was so confused and scared that I took the wrong door.
And you found yourself in the freezer.
He grabbed me. He was going to hit me again.
And that's when you grabbed the frozen yellowtail.
I just swung at him. I didn't even know what I was doing.
Then you do agree, Lieutenant Rupp, that it really was self-defense.
Looks that way. Well, you better talk to the DA first thing Monday morning.